The joint trial of Datuk Seri Najib Razak and ex-1MDB CEO Arul Kanda Kandasamy for allegedly tampering with the Auditor General's final report on the fund will start next Monday. The prosecution had initially requested for the trial to be deferred. This was because one of its key witnesses, Arul Kanda's predecessor, Datuk Syahrul Azra Ibrahim Halmi, is still testifying in the 1MDB tenor trial when he was slated to be the first witness in the audit tampering case. But Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan shot down the request, saying the prosecution could always call another witness while waiting for Syahrul's cross-examination in the other trial to be completed. Najib is charged with abusing his position as Prime Minister by ordering the alteration of the final audit report on 1MDB before it was presented to the Public Accounts Committee. Arul Kanda is charged with abetting Najib. Both their offences carry a maximum 20 years imprisonment and a fine of no less than 5 times the amount of gratification or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher. Petronas Chemicals Group saw its third quarter earnings slump 55% to 553 million ringgit as average product prices fell in tandem with lower crude oil prices. PetChem makes olefins, fertilizers and methanol from crude oil. Revenue came in 24% lower at 3.7 billion ringgit. That was partially offset by higher sales volume and the weakening of the ringgit against the US dollar. Looking ahead, PetChem expects its results to be influenced by global economic conditions, foreign currency exchange rate movements, utilization of its production facilities, as well as petrochemical product prices. It sees product prices in the olefins and derivatives segments stabilizing in the coming quarter, on the back of planned regional turnarounds and limited supply. AirAsia X saw third quarter net loss widen by 16%, weighed down by depreciation on the assets leased under MFRS 16. Net loss stood at 229.9 million ringgit, compared with 197.5 million previously, while revenue slid 6% to 1.01 billion ringgit. The carrier reported a depreciation of 234.5 million ringgit, nearly 5 times higher than the 48.6 million seen last year. Operating cash flow stood at 352.9 million ringgit as at September 30th, 2019, an improvement from 141.9 million a year ago. Meanwhile, revenue per available seat kilometres fell 3%, while cost per available seat kilometres was down 17%, indicating stronger cost efficiency management. Average fuel price fell 20% to $73 per barrel, while load factor improved 1% year-on-year to 81%. AAX Group CEO Nada Buranasiri says the carrier turned in a commendable performance despite irrational pricing from competitors and the impact on overall yield from the introduction of exit tax. Going forward, he says the appetite for air travel in the region has remained robust and expects fourth quarter overall core results to remain reasonably healthier operationally. Shipping company MISC reported a 22% drop in third quarter net profit to 266.1 million ringgit on the back of a loss in its heavy engineering division and other adjustments. Revenue for the quarter slipped by 4% to 2.15 billion ringgit. This was due to a one-off reimbursement cost on towing and installation of a project in the offshore segment, which was recognized in the previous corresponding quarter. MISC declared an interim dividend of 7 cents per share. Its president and group CEO Yi Yang-qian says the strength and resilience of its businesses contributed to MISC's stable financial performance for the quarter. He is expecting the group to end the fiscal year on a high note, with a few more projects secured after its successful tender for the LNG tanker time charter contracts with Sea River Maritime for 2 vessels for a period of 15 years. MISC hopes to build on that momentum of growth from now into 2020. Bursa Malaysia is eyeing 40 new listings next year, 30 of which are expected to be by SMEs. The bourse operator's CEO, Datuk Muhammad Umar Swift, points out that the country has strong fundamentals. Meanwhile, global uncertainties should be resolved moving forward, so Bursa believes local firms should be taking advantage of this clarity. Muhammad Omar adds that the tax deduction of up to 1.5 million ringgit for eligible SMEs on the ACE or LEAP market under the 2020 budget would also encourage listing exercises. According to the Bursa chief, as at November 8, 2019, the exchange had welcomed 28 new listings, surpassing the 21 firms that went public last year. Bursa was also ranked second in ASEAN for equity funds raised, market capitalization and number of public offerings as at September 2019. Home to over 900 firms, Bursa is the largest bourse in ASEAN in terms of number of companies listed.